Hey everyone, welcome to Tech Talk Sports, an official podcast of Technician, NC State student newspaper. Listen on most audio platforms or watch on YouTube. We're in the thick of ACC play for men's and women's basketball. Plenty of Olympic sports to get into as well. Talk some logo, that's been big on the Twitterverse lately. And Noah Teague joins us. Say hello, Noah.
Glad to be here.
If you're familiar with, or if you pick up the paper a lot, you've probably seen Noah's name a million times. So we'll get into that. Tech Talk is presented to you by Technician. Check us out on the web at technicianonline.com, Instagram at NCSU Technician, at Tech Sports on X. And as always, you can pick up a copy of the print on the stands every Thursday. All right, we're bringing back the intro music. Hector, play the intro music.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna open. Oh, should we start yet? Are you conducting?
No, yeah,
All right.
do the thing.
We're going to start with men's basketball because, boy, a 20-point win over Syracuse Tuesday night. It was a pretty dominant fashion kind of win, 68-88. You know, who was covering that? Connor, you were covering that, right? Do you have any opening statements about that win there?
First off, before we go to the win, it's been a roller coaster of the last 2 weeks for State. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Up, I think 8 against Georgia Tech. Lose. It was a quad 4 loss. It's now quad 3 loss. Then you go on the road, Will Wade's alma mater, beat them in overtime, and then get a dominant 20-point win. I mean, they looked good. They passing the ball well. Darrion, obviously a big point of contention. He scored 8 of the first 13 in the first 4 minutes. He scored 4 seconds into the game. Syracuse won the tip, but he just grabbed it, instantly took it to the rim. He looked good. He looked confident, which is something that I think a lot of NC State fans have been waiting for ever since like mid-November. I think VCU was the last time he scored. I think he scored the 28, if I'm not mistaken. He scored 28 and then 32 the game before, and everyone was like, oh, player of the year. And he slacked off since then, but he's finally showing what he can do. Now he just needs to do it more, do it consistently.
Yeah. I've definitely been a critic, but watching him, I was in the stands on Tuesday night, and boy, I enjoyed his performance. That was probably the first time I've watched a game and been like, dang, Darrion actually, he played really well. So that was good to see, 23 points. And after the game, he talked in the press conference about how he had a conversation with a family friend, and reportedly he said, I had a phone call with a family friend yesterday, and they just told me I was playing really soft this whole season, so I just try to play harder, be more physical with the other guys, not let them knock me off my spot. Thanks to him, just trying to be more physical with the guys. And you could tell he was playing much more physical. He was driving. He was going for rebounds. It was just a solid performance from Darrion. And I kind of had this fantasy when I was in the crowd there. I had this fantasy. Can we do some ohms? You know, like we're at a yoga studio. All right. This was my fantasy. I stopped and wrote it down. Okay. All right. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Imagine you're in the crowd for NC State UNC, February 17th. It's a Tuesday night, last week before midterms. You're somewhere in the lower bowl. You waited in line for 2 hours. Darrion Williams has had a bad past few games, but the Pack has still pulled through. Reluctant cheers for his name in the starting lineup announcement. Fast forward an hour and a half. He has just played the best game of his career. 30 points leading NC State to a blowout win. Wade takes him out with 2 minutes to go. The game is already won. Imagine the ovation. As loud as Lenovo could possibly get for Darrion. Imagine that. Think about the crowd noise. As he's walking towards the bench, he looks out towards the crowd. He gives his same old smirk. He waves his hands. Think about that. How electric would that be? Against UNC. Paycheck earned. That was my fantasy. Thank you very much. Do you guys have any comments on that?
I think that'd be incredible, and State plays their best when Darrion's aggressive like
A little
that.
closer.
So he's been a big factor for them, and when when he scores at least 15 points, they're 8-1. So I think for them to beat Carolina or any really good team, you're going to have him be aggressive like that.
I think fantasy is a good word. Because, like, I hate to say it, that's not how it's going to go down. I wish. That'd be nice.
I was just thinking about it.
I will say, I do remember seeing a stat last week. I don't know what it is updated now, but it's something along the lines of when Darrion has a 23% or higher usage rate, I guess factoring in Tuesday's game, they would be 11-1. And that one loss was the Kansas loss in overtime.
Can I speak freely? I don't really understand usage rate. If he has the ball, and sometimes he scores. I don't really understand his usage rate, but
it's just one of those advanced stats that Wade loves so much. He's a big stats guy, so he's never actually said it, but I'm sure he's well aware of the numbers.
Okay, but can anybody explain it?
Usage rate?
How do they calculate that?
It's how much he's used.
Okay.
Like he's the guy you want with the ball in his hands. Yeah. That's what it comes to. But there's another guy on the Wolfpack, Quadir Copeland. 2 years ago, came in with Syracuse, scored his then career high 26 points, talking the entire game. He became kind of a villain for that one game. I can't lie, I was a fan at the game. I wasn't a fan of him. He got on my nerves, which is what he's great at. But like I said, Richie McKay says, the head coach of Liberty says he's not a guy you want to play against, but he's a guy you want on your team. And he has been the heart of this NC State team throughout the first half of the season.
Yeah, the 19 points, I've become kind of accustomed to that, but the 9 assists, that was really impressive. He's just a facilitator. He's been the facilitator the whole year. And if Darrion steps up and also kind of takes that facilitator role, I think the Packers could be dangerous.
Darrion's been a great facilitator as well. When he drives and he draws the double team and then he just like passes it behind him to Van Allen Lubin, he did that, I think, at least 3 times on Tuesday. And I haven't seen it fail so far. Lubin has been incredibly efficient. He didn't miss a shot on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Musa only missed 1 shot. The work in the paint it's paying off heavily.
Yeah. Another thing about that game, they had that shirt jersey promotion. What did you guys? I was in the crowd, so I was one of the lucky 1,000 that were able to secure that shirt jersey, and I think it was getting a lot of hate on Twitter for no reason really. I mean, it doesn't look the best, but think about the other promotions. It's better than like a rally towel. It's something you could wear. It's nice. It looks kind of like a soccer jersey, but I think it's nice.
Can I give some thoughts on this? Because I'm going to be real with you. That was probably one of the worst promotions I've seen. If you go back to last year when they had the Hannah Montana theme night, to me it was similar to that, and that it was just such a bad swing and miss, right? It looks like something that you would get at the Goodwill. It looks like a soccer jersey, nothing like a basketball jersey. Why are we handing this out? Give the people what they want. A little bit of Slobbering Wolf merch, maybe Dollar Dog Night. I don't know what you got to do to make it happen, but that's where you need to go with your promotions.
I think it looked like a jersey off of DHgate, like something you would buy super, super cheap for like $20. Maybe it gets delivered, maybe it doesn't.
DHgate looked like Temu merch. Yeah. Okay, but I thought it was pretty nice. I'm never gonna wear it, and I'm probably not gonna hang it up. But it's still nice that they're putting in a little effort.
I like the idea. I think it's going on the right track, but I would like to combat that and say I think the rally towels were better because being courtside for that first half of the Kansas game and they're doing the announcement and it's just the red lights and you're looking around and everyone in the stadium has a light up rally towel and it's all shaking. It was that's probably my favorite moment of the season so far. It was insane. Surreal.
I can say as a fan at that game, because it was one of the few that I went to, that was one of the only times I felt lightheaded from screaming and being just way too into the game, which happens to me a lot with sports, but I think that was the most that had ever happened in that game.
We talked a lot about it a couple weeks ago, but also the stripe out, man. I can't get over that stripe out. It was so nice. It was so nice. All right. One more thing. Noah brought up the slobbering wolf. We'll get into that in a sec. But first, I had another realization at the Syracuse game. Maybe it's because, 21, I may have been under the influence. I was having a lot of realizations there. Will Wade, he is like the last train to success for NC State, I think. Like if it doesn't work out with Will Wade, what even, like that's our shot. Like the amount of funding that they were able to produce, the hype, this is your shot. It has to work out. And for that reason, I think it's going to work out, but this is our shot. And, part of me feels, he reminds me a little bit of Lane Kiffin, admittedly. He's very bombastic. He does great press conferences. He's a fan favorite. He's a media favorite. But, he reminds me of Lane Kiffin. I'd be a little worried for us to be Ole Miss. But
bombastic is such a good word.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's in your eyes? Like, what's the goal? Like, what's fulfilling this last shot, this last gasp?
National championship.
Does it?
How else? We got to the Final
Okay.
Four. We got ACC chip.
But at the same time, that doesn't have to happen this
No,
season.
no,
and
it
I
doesn't
think
have
that's
to happen.
something
Oh, no,
that
yeah.
I think that's something that all NC State fans still need to kind of come to terms with. Wade made a lot of promises. Red reckoning for the ACC, reckoning for college basketball. It's not going the way he anticipated it to go this season. Obviously, they're off to the best start in 20 years in the ACC. It should be 7-1, sit at 6-2. It doesn't all have to happen this year. This year, you want to see progress for sure. I mean, we've already seen tons of progress compared to last season. Last season, we didn't win a road game. This season, we beat the number 22 team in their own stadium. But you just need to see progress. We're seeing progress. Obviously, everyone wants to see an NCAA tournament run too. So
I just had a thought. He's either going to be Lane Kiffin or he's going to be Kurtzington.
wow.
Is that a crazy take? I don't know.
Yes, that is a crazy
Okay,
take.
sorry.
I think Lane Kiffin going into LSU, like that's a program that has won national championships in the last decade. Like that's like they have to, if it doesn't work, like for him, he's done. Like,
you don't think there's a better college basketball job than NC State?
Well, certainly Kentucky last year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I absolutely do feel like there were better jobs. Like obviously NC State was a good one, but we don't have a history of championships. Like we have won championships, but not in over 40 years. Like Kentucky has won recently, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head. St. John's has been really successful recently. NC State's been good. Obviously, we went to the Final Four, but was that a one-off? I don't know. I think that was. I mean,
All right.
I'm a hater.
absolutely a one-off.
I'm a hater
That's
for
not
that
mine.
team. I'm pessimistic, but
A hater?
either way,
What's there to hate?
Hater might not be the word, but I'm very pessimistic.
Do you think we should bring back Mo Diarra, since Bediako got brought back to Alabama? Similar situation.
We need rebounds.
Yeah.
Our
I
leading
will-
rebounder is like what? Like it's like 6.7 or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Rebounds a game, like somewhere in there. I
Yeah.
don't remember the number, but I think it was 6-7.
All right. Okay. Where do we even move on from that? Come on. All right. No more success.
Bunch of adults on a podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
One
that's all I had.
more thing I want to talk about with NC State basketball, and this is a tweet that Noah Teague brought up that he tweeted out himself. NC State only has one quad 3 game left as of right now. It is all quad 1 and quad 2 from here on out. We play number 4 Duke, number 17 Virginia, number 16 UNC, number 20 Louisville. A bunch of tough away games by net standards.
And Miami too. Did you mention Miami?
Miami as well.
Miami's
Miami has
good.
been they're a dark horse this year. I like them.
Oh yeah. All right. I guess we should talk about logos now, because that was a big thing on Twitter and really everywhere. Slobbed up. That was the hashtag. It was spurred off after Wade talked on his radio show about how he wanted to wear the Slobbering Wolf merch, and he got an email from the administration telling him, don't do that. And that stems off of when we wore the state jerseys for the first game. He also got an email after that. So Wade just voices frustrations about the merchandising and branding branch of NC State. And, I got to be honest, I don't think throwing this lady under the bus. I don't have the LinkedIn pulled up right now, but a woman who works for the branding department was thrown under the bus, and I don't agree with that, just because there's so much information people don't really know about, and they're just basing their opinions off of tweets and like shallow information. They don't really know the lay of the land necessarily, so I don't think that's right. But I think the general consensus from fans is correct. The branding department has had its weaknesses in recent years. So
I would add this, that two things can be true at the same time. I think it's not very helpful to dock somebody, especially in the marketing department. But I think there's also some truth in the fact that NC State has not done a good job of marketing themselves. I think that there's a bit of a brand identity crisis where there hasn't been much of a steady Wolfpack brand. They've changed logos starting in the 60s. They had just the plain S. They introduced the strutting wolf. They moved to the diamond logo, the block S, now the Tuffy head. That's kind of coincided alongside with the more modern, very generic uniforms. And so I think the thing that a lot of Wolfpack fans would want to see is something that can be consistent and something that they can hold on to. I think tying that into their history with some of those throwback uniforms with the slobbering wolf is a great idea. But the other thing is, it takes time. You got to have a little bit of patience, because this isn't something you can just snap your finger and change. It's a process that realistically would take 2 to 3 years to implement.
I think it's also just with sports in general, like for me and for a lot of other people, I'm a huge fan of retro logos. Like let's go to NFL for a second. Think of like the Patriots. Their old logo was a Patriot snapping the ball. I love that logo. Hate the Patriots. Like the logo. Now they have like the head and it's got like the kind of swoop. Eagles, same thing. Right now it's just the eagle head. Before they had, the entire bird. I love the Tuffy logo, right? Could not stand the block S that NC State used. It's just plain, it's boring. But that's the slobbering wolf logo, like it's a classic. Like I think teams need to tap more into retro uniforms at some point. But at the same time, I don't think they should use that logo for every single game. Because then if you use it for every single game, then it's not special anymore. It's like the same thing with the retro jerseys. I love them. Don't use them for every single game, because then it's just going to become the norm and it loses all its value.
I think it'd be a great idea to implement it for maybe 2 to 3 games a year for each sport, right? Where it's an alternate. Maybe you pair it with the black jerseys, but you keep the Tuffy head as your main logo.
Like a Canes Whalers sort of thing. How they do Whalers night. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. For me, it's not even about the slobbering wolf. It's more just about the jerseys. I just don't really like our current font. I don't really like the way the jersey's laid out. And I prefer, the State. Just saying State, that jersey is clean. It's so clean. And the fact that we have that available and we don't use it, it kind of boggles my mind. Just because, think about, if that became our permanent jersey, I think the jersey sales would be so much higher. People would want to wear that. People don't really want to, the black trim, it's not great. The words are kind of smaller. I'd like them to take up more of, and we don't have to talk too much about jerseys and design, but I just think there's a lot that can be done with the current jerseys, and, fans are not happy with them for good reason. So
I think you just get rid of the black trim on the jersey, and I think those jerseys look 10 times better. Yeah. I 100% agree. I'm looking at it right now, and it's got like, the NC State is outlined with black, fine, whatever. But then like the sides of the jersey and the bottom of it, it's like red, black, red. Just go red.
Yeah. Also, maybe with that, maybe it'll look lighter, but a little bit lighter of a red. I think the lighter red on the State jerseys looks great as well. So just use the State jerseys. What are we doing?
At the end of the day, NC State is the red and white, not the red, black, and white.
It's true. All right, I guess that's plenty of men's basketball for tonight. Well, let's move on to women's basketball. They're playing right now. They're playing Boston College. About to end the first half, but let's get into UNC on Tuesday, 6 p.m. on ESPN. That's a big game. UNC's a solid team so far this year. Maybe not up to expectations. They had some transfers. They still have India Navarre. We had some people that aren't here anymore. So, what do you think about this matchup coming up? A little bit of, identity issues, I guess, or just like it's a completely different team from last year.
They're both top 25 in net rankings. NC State's 25, UNC's 20. I think the biggest thing, though, and you can look at Virginia, too, because this was a huge issue, close out games. They get to a point, they go up, 10 points, then they get complacent. They gave up how many I don't even remember how many points it was in the fourth. It was like 29 in the fourth quarter, I feel like, against Virginia. And then it goes to overtime. They had a double-digit lead against USC, loss. Double-digit lead against... what's the other team I'm trying to think of? Louisville, yes. Double-digit lead against Louisville, loss. They get the lead, and then they just let it go.
Yeah, and also they only had one field goal in overtime. It felt like their offense kind of just sputters out a little bit. They got the win against Virginia. You can't really complain about getting one field goal, but their offense just seemed to sputter out late, and same with the defense, So we'll see what happens. They're playing at home. They're playing at Reynolds. Courtney Banghart famously called it the small gym. So, we'll see what happens in there. Anything from Noah?
Either way this goes, you're going to have a big trend break where right now Carolina's on a winning streak. They've won 4 in a row. They're getting hot. However, they've lost 5 in a row in Reynolds Coliseum. One of those has to end. So we'll see. The Reynolds Coliseum magic is very real. We've seen it over the years, and I think State has enough talent that in that atmosphere they can get it done.
Yeah.
I think the other thing with State is it's not just their inability to close out when they have a lead. It's the depth. And maybe that's also on Wes Moore I think he runs NC State like Tom Thibodeau did with the Knicks, where he plays the starters like 35 minutes a game. And then you get, you'll get Devin Quigley coming off the bench for like 7 minutes. You'll get Kaishi Lunan has gotten a little more playing time, but still, there's just no depth. There's no depth at center. We've got Tilda Trieger, who's, by the way, right now having a fantastic game. She has like 16 points at halftime against Boston College, only missed one shot.
There you go.
But, lost Lorena Awu for whatever reasons, not going to speculate. Mallory Collier is not providing what you need. Maddie Cox is solid, but she's not a 5.
MC.
She's a 4.
Yeah.
It's just they need to find some bench depth quick. Someone needs to step up off of the bench and be the 6th man that they need.
I'm definitely excited for that one. I'm always loving all the, Olympic sport, NC State, UNC matchups. I always try to go to all those, man. They're the best. Like, if you're going to go to any of the Olympic sport games, some people are averse to going to those. If you're going to go to any, you got to go to the NC State ones because they're just electric always.
I'll say this, and I'm getting ahead a little bit with wrestling here, but they had State Carolina wrestling. It was one of the best atmospheres I've seen during my 4 years here of any sport. So definitely worth going to an Olympic sport and at least checking out State Carolina.
Let's go right into wrestling. Yeah. Noah, you are our wrestling beat. You've covered more wrestling articles than I can count over the last 2-3 years. What stood out to you about that UNC game in specific, besides the atmosphere?
I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was there's a freshman on this team. He wrestles at 165. He is a rising superstar, Will Denny. He got a pretty big upset win. It was his 2nd top 10 win of the year, 3rd top 11. He is really coming on, and he's kind of like, if you think about their stars, like a Vince Robinson, like an Isaac Trumbull, he's kind of next in line to be that. And so the biggest thing I take away from that match is that he kind of announced his presence, not just, in matches here and there, but in a big-time national match for the 2nd time this season. And I think that's going to be really critical for NC State going down the stretch. We saw that, their depth down the lineup is a little bit questionable. They're a little bit thinner there compared to years past, but they have some real star power, and the stars are rounding into form right at the perfect time right now.
On that night of the match, I saw a lot of tweets about something that UNC head coach Rob Cole said a few years ago. Maybe we can play the 12-second clip in post-production.
Better than they've ever been before, and it's unfortunate for Pat that he's going to have to be brought down a few pegs. So I was telling somebody the other time, it's like he's worked hard, but it's unfortunate. There is a normal order of things, and Chapel Hill is above NC State, whether he likes it or not.
All right. What am am I supposed to? No, it's fine. We don't need to clap again. We can just
No, I know.
he can sync it up.
Yeah.
Where was I supposed to start talking?
Quote.
Oh,
I'm so leaving that in too.
don't leave. I'm gonna start cursing, so you can't leave it. In.
Yeah, I can take that out.
Every time you mess up, it's just.
All right, let's talk about that clip. Rob Cole, what are you talking about, man? He just looked. He perked up when he said it. He looked like a maniac. 0-3 since that clip serves him right, because man, you can't just start talking like that. And let's look at the record in the Chancellor's Cup. Every sport since that moment, or not since that moment, but you know what I'm talking about. This year, NC State versus UNC. Let's see where that stacks up. NC State versus UNC. Men's soccer, it was a draw. Volleyball, a loss. Women's golf, a win. Men's golf, loss. Women's soccer, loss. Football, I think we remember. It was a win. Cross country doesn't really count, whatever. Because we won the national championship, and they don't really they don't have head-to-head races like that. I'm sure we beat them on a national stage. So
I thought you were talking about like as a sport cross country.
No,
Doesn't matter.
No, I love cross country. I wrote some articles about cross country, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Swimming, emphatic win. Wrestling, emphatic win. So far 4-3-1. A peg above. It really just does not seem like it. So let's be real, Rob Cole. Okay.
I want to go back to what Noah said. Noah said something earlier about Rob Cole's record against NC State.
Yeah, I mean, there is a natural order to things in wrestling between State and Carolina. Rob Cole, since getting to Carolina, is 0-3. Doesn't look like anything's changed. And since Pat Papalozio has gotten to NC State, he is 13-0. They are on a 13-year winning streak against Carolina. That sure sounds like a natural order things.
Yeah, mic drop. All right, in case you're curious, there are 7 more Olympic sports to play against UNC, in case you want to mark your calendar. I'm not going to tell you the dates, so I don't have those written down. But women's tennis, I can tell you they play tomorrow Friday night at 6 p.m. Check that out. That'll be electric at Cary Tennis Park. Then we got women's basketball coming up as well.
Monday night.
Men's basketball, February 17th. Gymnastics, not quite sure. Baseball, they play 3 times. Softball, they play 3 times. And men's tennis. So, keep your eye out for that. But so far, the Pac is leading the Tar Heels in the Chancellor's Cup. At least head-to-head. Head-to-head Chancellor's Cup. There you go. Speaking of that, women's tennis coming off a big win over Florida. They were down 3-1 against the Gators, and they came back, and star 2025 number 2 recruit who played at IMG, I'm sure you're familiar with that school. She clinched the win with a 7-5 victory in the final set. So pretty impressive stuff. Like I said, they play tomorrow night against UNC at 6 p.m. But yeah, you guys have got anything to add to that? Pretty impressive stuff around the horn from our Olympic sports. So there you go. All right, should we move on to campus happenings? I know this segment, it was originally Yik Yak Minute. Then I think I asked everybody to come up with a segment name, and that was probably ill-advised because nobody had an idea. But now we're naming it Campus Happenings. There you go. Nothing to do with Yik Yak. We don't even have Yik Yak. Let's be honest. You delete Yik Yak after sophomore year. Okay, we re-downloaded
Had to re-download it just for the bit.
Yeah, we re-downloaded it to do. I don't know why we did that, but we got Campus Happenings. I guess to start off, this was kind of a big deal. A homeless woman was caught sleeping in the Chancellor's house. If you're not familiar with it, it's over on Centennial Campus. And does the Chancellor actually live there? Do we know that? Do they have servants there,
absolutely no
chefs? What kind of treatment is Kevin Howell getting? That's what I'm curious about.
I was unaware he even had an on-campus house. Is it like a palace, and where is it at?
It's it's near Hunt Library, I think. It's near Lonnie Pool. Yeah, around in that area. But it's nice. It definitely looks like it's NC State's though. It's completely brick.
I just looked it up. It is 100% brick.
It kind of no hate. It kind of looks like a factory, but it
This
looks
is the most NC State house I've ever seen in my entire life. Red brick.
It kind of looks like factories if you're familiar with the Fortnite location. But there you go. Probably a dumb reference to make.
It's a fantastic callback. I love that.
What else?
His pillow's got to be really soft.
Whose pillow?
Howells.
Howells? Why?
Yeah, because there's comfortable places in Hunt. She could have gone into Hunt. I'm saying I'm envisioning when I read the article. This is I guess I should have clarified this. I read the article, and I envisioned I'm this woman walking around campus, and I'm looking through windows, and I see his soft pillows on his couch. And so that's where I go.
It's not like on campus.
You gotta
It's
like
like a little
kind
bit
of look
away.
for. You gotta look for his house. It's like just like down the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
then
If it's the
okay.
building I'm thinking of, it's really like down a road. That if you go down at night, it looks like you're about to die in a horror movie. But like it's like down a road and it's just this big brick building.
Okay. I was just imagining a wandering woman.
I'm pretty sure they still like let people sleep in, DHL. That's a good spot. So that's my take on that. Another thing, I was one of my professors was talking during class today. Why is this a campus happening right now? I don't know why I wrote this down. This is from the 90s, but apparently they use social security numbers on student IDs. Isn't that pretty crazy? Like they would, let's say you took a test and they wanted to give out the results, they would just put all the social security numbers.
Identity theft would have been so easy back then.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
Someone definitely got rich off of that. I can't prove it.
100%.
I don't think so.
I can't prove it, but I know it happened.
Because it's like it's all out in the open,
That's a lot of trust in humanity,
I don't
bro.
know,
I'm
man.
not sure I have that much trust in humanity.
I am positive I don't have that much trust. I am 100% sure.
I think it's pretty wild that how does that work? It would be so easy to steal. That's private. People keep that, close to their chest. I'm not going to tell you my social security number. I'm not going to say it on the podcast, obviously, but I wouldn't even tell you guys normally. So, but
You'll tell me off camera though, right?
No, I wouldn't tell you.
Are you gonna tell us Condors though?
Whoa, hey, whoa.
I'm not aware.
Time
not
out,
aware of
brother
this.
man. Let's not do that.
All right. I went to Cane's today. Can't say I loved it. I don't have much more to say about it because we might try to try it next episode. We'll see. But I know Noah has some workshopped takes about Cane's, so let's hear that.
Here
right
we
now.
go.
I've unfortunately had Cane's too many times, and I've only had it twice. It to me tastes like if you took a bunch of rubber and you deep fried it, and then you put it in some decent sauce. It is the most overhyped chicken that I have ever had. I will not be going back to Cane's. I've had it in Arizona. I've had it in Chapel Hill. It's not worth getting. Go to Bojangles. Go to Popeyes.
There goes our possible sponsorship from Cane's.
I got you a sponsorship for Popeyes, though.
Okay, there you go. I know we're not getting.
You're not allowed
sponsors, let's
back
be
on the
honest.
podcast. You're not allowed back.
That's unfortunate.
You know what? The freedom of this, the fact that nobody has reached out to advertise, I don't pull any punches about anything because I'm not worried about losing a possible advertiser. Who cares? Nobody's advertised on this, so we'll just say what we think. So that's nice. Freedom.
Future advertiser, he doesn't mean that, I promise.
Well, if you advertise with us, we'll, we won't talk bad.
Put in a good word.
Yeah.
Hey, wings over Raleigh, dude.
Delicious.
Oh my
That's ball
gosh.
knowledge right
Dude,
there.
Every time, literally every time I cover a game, we get paid $15. I use that $15 to get wings over Raleigh every time.
It's fantastic.
So good. It's so good.
The sweet chili wings, the best wings that I have had up here in Raleigh.
You go up on the concourse? Really? Do you keep your ID on or your pass?
Oh yeah.
You're just walking around the concourse.
Dude,
with the
I'm on a
pass?
first name basis with them.
Okay.
Dude, yes, they're like, oh hey Josiah. Dude, every time.
Dude, when I come back from events, I take it off immediately. I'm not embarrassed though. Don't worry. Okay, the highway test. All right, actually, I do have a Cane's take. All right. My thoughts on fast food. Imagine you're driving. All right, we're imagining things again. Imagine you're driving down the highway. Okay. You're kind of in like a medium zone of hungriness. Like you're a little hungry, but you could wait a little bit. you go by one of those big blue signs that says all the fast food restaurants there. If you see Cane's on that sign, are you going to pull over, get off of the highway, and go eat? For me, definitely not.
Immediately.
No.
Immediately.
Okay, what if there's Bojangles, Popeyes, and Cane's?
I'm stopping for Bojangles.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I think
you're probably right. You're probably
I think half of the magic with Cane's is just the fact that it's like the vibe of going. It's like Cookout, where it's like half the time you go to Cookout, it's not because I want Cookout, like I love Cookout. It's about the vibe of going to Cookout.
Mm-hmm.
Cane's does have disco balls in it, so
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the hype with Cane's, I think it's just people wanting to go to like Cane's, not
I think it's
necessarily
still-
the food.
I think it's still good.
They have a good marketing team. That's for
Believe
sure.
that.
For
For
sure, marketing
reference,
team.
I love Cane's, first of all. I think it's great. But I do agree with Noah that for really, really good chicken, you should go to Bojangles.
Good marketing team, not great food, but that's just me.
I should be transparent. It's been years since I've had Cane's because there hasn't been one in Raleigh. But like growing up, like that was like our family's fast food spot. Like every time it was late, like that's where we went. So maybe it's
Let's fix that on
memories.
Tuesday.
Let's do it. Deal.
All right, to close things out, we agreed that we would give Josiah a little bit of time to talk about the Seahawks because he is a Seahawks fan. But because of that, we're also going to do a little bit of talking about the Patriots because I'm sure we all can agree. There's no Patriots fans here, right?
No.
No.
I
Like-
only want the Seahawks to
I am the most
I don't want the
anti-Patriots
Patriots
person
to
you've ever
win.
met in your entire life. I just want you to know that right now.
I'm not a big football guy either, but I know it well enough where I just don't want the Patriots to win, so I root for the other team.
I'll say before Josiah gets into his bit, a little bit of NC State stuff here. Garrett Bradbury and Corey Durden on the Patriots. So if the Patriots win, okay, fine. At least 2 state players get a ring. But the big thing I'm excited about for the Super Bowl, Drake May versus Drake Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
We all know how that went last time. I will leave it at that. Go Hawks.
I will say after that Patriots-Broncos game, just a stinker of a game, Drake May didn't do anything. You know, and it's not even about Drake May as a UNC quarterback. Okay, it's not even about that. It's just the Patriots. I've endured, you know, basically my whole life rooting for football. The Patriots have stolen my joy. And, like, my girlfriend is a Patriots fan, and she can't seem to understand why I give so much hate to the Patriots. And I just want to say it's a genuine hatred. You know what I mean? I have a genuine hatred of the Patriots. I was so upset after that Broncos game, I had to go on a walk. Like, I had to go outside and walk around in the snow in order to chill out. That only has happened one other time, and it was after the UNC-NC State game our freshman year when it was like a 25 free throw differential. You know, Terquavion gets stretchered out.
Yep.
I was very upset after that game, you know. And, you know, I was in my younger days, you know, I was very much blaming the refs. I was very upset. This was the only other time I've had to go on a walk because I was so upset. I was fuming after that Broncos-Patriots game. So, Seahawks, get it done. All right, you can talk about them now.
One more thing. Colts fan, 2014 AFC Championship. That's all I need to say. Cannot stand the Patriots. Do you have anything you want to share before Josiah takes the floor for Sam Darnold glaze?
I will. Look, I don't have as strong of a hate for the Patriots. I'm a Panthers fan. We're in the NFC. We don't really see them that much. However,
That's one Super Bowl.
the Seahawks, I think, are a war machine. I don't think, you know, like the Patriots, they've done a lot to get here, but they've had the easiest regular season schedule that I have ever seen. They've had the easiest playoff path that I have ever seen. I don't think they know what they're walking into. I think, you know, Sam Darnold with his career renaissance, with JSN, with Kenneth Walker, the defense, Nick and Worry, it's going to be a war machine. Seahawks are going to win by double digits.
Have you seen Drake May's nickname?
Is it fake May?
The schedule.
I think it's just Drake May.
Drake, May. That's the dumbest thing ever. All right, sorry. We don't need to talk about that. Josiah, just, you know,
Take it away.
keep it light.
I mean, I'm basking. Like, this is like, I remember in high school, I was sitting in a weight room when Russell Wilson got traded, and I was like, this is the beginning of the end. Like, this is I vaguely remember the Super Bowl win. I was young. I was 10, I think. And I vaguely remember the Super Bowl win. I vividly remember the Super Bowl loss to the Patriots. I tell everybody that that day was the worst day of my life, or the second worst day of my life, and the worst day of my life was the next day at school. Because that was
so valid.
it was awful. Like it was absolutely terrible. And so, for Mike McDonald to have gone not 10-7, by the way, nobody's talking about that either. Year one, he went 10-7. I know they didn't make the playoffs. They were right there on the cusp.
Geno Smith.
Is Will Wade Mike McDonald?
Oh, that's
All right,
not
not to
bad.
derail things.
No, that's not bad. Like Will Wade has one returning scholarship player.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when they say that because Jordan Snell needs his flowers.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Mike McDonald came in when like they were totally like John Schneider, GM, was totally resetting. Fired Pete, then Mike McDonald goes and gets rid of DK and Geno and Tyler Lockett. Like, this is not the Seahawks team I grew up with. Like, but now it's the dark side. The dark side is gonna murder Drake May, and but like, okay, so I have to admit, the first 2 or 3 days, like all day Monday, was amazing. And then on Tuesday, I read an ESPN article where like 10 experts predicted the Seahawks would win, and none of them predicted the Patriots would win.
That's a curse.
And I sat back and I went, "Oh crap, this is not this. This might not end well."
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You're good.
I don't know. I think
You're
we're
good.
good. We opened at -4.5. Now we're at -5.5 because everybody's betting on the Seahawks. And oh man,
I guess another good thing y'all have going for you though is the fact that the game's in Levi's in Santa Clara, so it's obviously way closer to that than it is to Foxborough.
very true.
So
Very
hopefully
true.
packed out with Seattle fans.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, I know if my team made the Super Bowl, I'd make the trek out there. So
Oh yeah, dude,
you'll see a
like,
lot of Pats fans too.
I've certainly considered it. I've certainly thought about it, but
$6,000.
I was considering it in the first half of the season.
What are you talking about?
ChatGPT said for me and my dad to go, it projected around $22,000 for like for all told, like plane, hotel, ticket, like for like a decent experience, $22,000. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not gonna do that.
You could
But-
eliminate like 5K if you just drive and sleep in your car.
yeah, but then I'd have to miss school.
Okay.
Worth
okay, but
it.
like-
Hello.
But like I'm a responsible student,
No,
and
you're
so
not.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, we would
Not
actually
really.
kind of suffer a little bit, me and Connor. So don't do that.
Yeah, I won't do that.
That would be bad.
Boston Connor on the Pat McAfee show the other day, before the conference championship games, he said the conference championship week is the worst week ever when your team is in it because it's so anxiety inducing and you're terrified. And he's a Patriots fan, obviously. And then on Monday, after they won, he said the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl are the best weeks of your life because there's no anxiety until game day. Because everybody just talks about your team and how amazing Drake May is, and Bakemas and all that kind of thing. And so I'm a Seahawks fan. It's been a good week. It's been a good week.
I will say I've had this conversation with another one of my friends. He's a Patriots fan. So last year we went to his apartment. Me and all of our friends went to his apartment for the Super Bowl. You're a Seahawks fan, obviously. Your team's playing. Is that something you would want to watch at like a Super Bowl party, or is that you want to be locked in?
Not a chance. No, I'm going home just for that purpose.
You got to watch it
Because
with your family.
My whole family.
I
like that.
Yeah.
I like
My dad is from Yakima, Washington, and he was born in January of 1977. The Seahawks' first game was August 1977.
Wow.
He was quite literally born into this, and so, dude, like our whole lives, like we've been waiting for this, dude. I'm so excited.
I mean, you won when you were 10. What are you talking about? You
I
already said
know,
that.
I know, but like,
We've been waiting for this.
okay, I have been waiting for this.
Okay.
I don't really remember it. Like
Yeah.
I kind of remember it. I remember celebrating a little bit, but like
Yeah.
I don't. It wasn't like it's not ingrained in my memory. It's not a core memory.
Yeah.
This would be a core memory.
I only remember Steelers sadness, so I don't remember the Super Bowl.
Same with me as a Colts fan.
Yeah.
I was like 3 when they won the Super Bowl. So I do remember. I was like 5, but I do remember the Tracy Porter pick 6. That will end it for me. But at least the 3 of us have a Super Bowl in our lifetimes. I'm very, very sorry, Noah.
But at least Noah, you went to one.
We did. We also went through 2 and 14.
Closer,
we went
closer.
Through Matt Rule, Frank
Oh
Reich,
my God.
David Tepper. I mean, do
Still
I have
going
to go
through
on?
David Tepper.
Like,
Yeah,
we
you're
have
right, you're
been through it all, and especially like the Panthers games that I remember. It's all the bad because I was like early middle school when we actually went to the Super Bowl. So I think I've got the worst of it.
PJ Walker throwing the greatest pass, one of the greatest passes I've ever seen, just for DJ Moore to take his helmet off and sell the game.
You also aware that Sam Darnold was your quarterback, and Sam Darnold is about to go to the Super Bowl before Josh Allen, before Lamar Jackson.
Before Josh Rosen. There were
Before-
9 mistakes
before
drafted
Josh
before Josh
Rosen.
Rosen, and he's not there.
Also,
Before Baker Mayfield.
the pick that they traded for Bryce Young was used on Caleb Williams. Could have been used on Drake May. He's a homer, so all right, we don't need to bury the Panthers.
I'm sorry.
They've been through enough.
Buried them enough.
Okay, there you go. All right,
I love John Schneider so much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I could go for another hour. I'm sorry.
I know you
You need to
could.
cut me off. You need to cut me off.
All right, should we wrap it up?
yeah, we should wrap it up. All right, I didn't really write any postscript, so let's just say thank you for watching and housekeeping. I guess we're going bi-weekly now. We probably should have said that in the intro, but it's fine. We're going bi-weekly now, so stay tuned every 2 weeks on Friday for the episode. Listen on audio, watch the YouTube, do all that. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Deuces.